welcome to Gospel Reactions once again today, and thank you so much for always liking and sharing. Thank you for always staying put right here at Gospel TV. We love you and we appreciate every one of you. You guys are the realest MVPs. Today I've got Lala in the building and we've got, we're still enjoying the Better Time album by OBO Davido, and of course a lot of things have been said about Davido. One of those things, Lala, has been that Peruzzi did not appear on this album because he wrote most of them, arguably. But is it arguable
allegedly.
Or allegedly? But of course, I think his name has is on a couple of the songs.
On the 6 tracks, you see him being credited as a songwriter on some tracks on the album.
Yes. So Davido actually got help from a couple of other people. Kidominat wrote Tanana. Mehdi wrote Very Special. Very Special. And of course, we know that a couple of other artists had like one or two. Dende, one of his new signees, also wrote, I think, Jawa.
I think Jawa. There's actually 2 different Dendes.
2 different Dendes.
There's also
another Dende,
American-based Nigerian.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps singer or songwriter.
Singer, okay.
Yeah, he does have a lot of writers on the Better Time album.
Now, is it fair that Davido has been ridiculed a lot for getting help with songwriters?
Is it fair? Now, the thing is, we know in Nigeria, the songwriting industry is still on the come up, and there's still a lot of people still look at you a certain way when they see that you're not the one who wrote the lyrics. But then kudos to Davido because he's been able to change the way people see how people make music. Been a long time coming from him. He has always been of the idea that songwriters, are needed in the game. What he initially used to do was pay one off. Didn't used to give credit and things like that until he got an issue around 2013 the issue he had was with Password, artist called Password at that period. So apparently Sheezy knew Password and Password wanted Davido to sing the song, but Password didn't inform Davido that he had already released the song. And Password got paid.
He didn't inform Sheezy.
He didn't inform Sheezy, he didn't inform Davido. And that song had been released already, and he didn't know because obviously he's a musician. He can't be in touch with all the music that has been released. His own is to provide the music for fans or listeners to listen. So that issue came up, and he was burned severely with it. And the Gobe apparently got what's his name? Password got paid for Gobe. And then when the issue came up about something, I think he went out to say that
Davido stole his song.
In actual sense, he had actually been paid for that song, and he didn't even tell people.
He was paid even before he went ahead to say they stole the song?
Well, according to Davido, he said he was paid before that issue came up. Apparently, he even signed a contract, but we never got to see that contract back then. Davido didn't come out to say this is the contract. But according to the interview that was available back then, he says he was paid before then.
So looking at, a lot of people have talked about Peruzzi being the guy, that guy who is like the music machine for OBO Davido. Now, Peruzzi as an artist and as a writer joined DMW just about 3-4 years ago, and fans have been asking, so even Mayokun joined in 2016, Dremo joined in 2016, so Davido has been with HK, Shino Rambo and B-Red for a long time. So the question right now that fans are asking, that I'm also supporting in asking, is who exactly has been writing Davido's songs before now? Can we say Davido has been writing his songs by himself before then? Is Gobe just a one-off and every other song has been written by Davido or was written by Davido?
That's a serious question. So let's take it back to the genesis.
Okay.
Let's look at the whole, where it all started for Davido, which is
Yes, OBO the Genesis, that's the debut album. 2013, right?
Yeah, 2013. So around that period, we know, was it 2013? I don't think it was
2012.
Maybe 2012.
2012.
So around that period, we know that yes, the first single he dropped, the way it sounded, there was, what was the
back when Nedo C.
I mean, from the way that song sounded, you see, there's a lot of repetition on that song. I think that was classic Davido, what he could come up
And
with.
he produced that song.
And yes, David, in case you guys don't know, Davido started off as a producer. He owned the studio. He used to rent out the studio to a lot of these guys in America, according to his interviews. All the Nigerian artists that come around there, he used to rent out his studio for free. So Davido has ears for good music, has ears for good sound. That's confirmed about him. So looking at that first song, Back When with Medusi, you could see back when I was so there's a lot of repetition. I mean, when you see anything that's a lot of repetition, your first instinct should be that's Davido, because that's what you could have. That's what, for me, that's what I can use to deduce if they did actually write a song, because there will be a lot of repetition in the lyrics, and it will be very simple, but there will be a lot of repetition. Then came Davido. Davido, the worst in Davido, it's a lot of repetition, but there's a catchy phrase which he, consolidates on over and over again in the song. Davido, as simple as it may seem.
I love that part of
that's melodies that Davido. Davido knows how to give certain sort of melodies, because he's good in that aspect. He has ears for good melodies, has ears for good sound.
Yeah.
So that's
true.
So
Definitely.
Songs like that are simple and basic. I don't understand. I want to bet my life. No, I'm not betting my life. I can say for the fact that I can feel for the fact that yes, I would say Davido wrote those kind of songs. But then getting to know, after the Gobe incident, after that interview, that our guy here shot. So he actually interviewed Davido that period in 2015.
I've done Davido interview twice actually. Twice.
So basically, around that period, when that issue password came about, he was able to shed more light in his thought process about making music.
Yeah.
He was able to now let everyone know that, see, nobody can, you can't write hits by yourself every time. You are not an island. You always need help. And he's not afraid to always, seek help.
Like that was 5 years ago. He actually confirmed it.
Yeah, he confirmed that, yes. He even said on that interview that there are songs on his album.
The debut album.
On his debut album that he didn't even write by himself.
Yeah.
But that means the business of him employing or using songwriters didn't just start with Gobe. Didn't just start when he Tenny wrote the song for him.
Yeah, like that.
He didn't just start around that period. Apparently, he has been his MO from time. So now it's hard for people to now see. To try and gauge, what did Davido really write this song, or did someone else already write this song? So now, because there's not so much material of him that we know that yes, he's written so and so. According to him as well, I think he wrote Skelewu. That's according to him.
Okay.
But that may be a joint, between him and
Shizzy. Maybe a co-writing.
Yeah, it might be a co-writing between him and Shizzy. But he's so big on using songwriters, and he's also responsible for how songwriters have been able to come in a bad way, because when the Tenny issue came up, perhaps maybe Tenny did not get the credit when the song. Tenny decided to blow out trumpet by herself on Twitter back then. So in the initial stage, the songwriting industry, if you were around Davido, you certainly get paid if you did write a song for him. That was standard. That was fair from Davido. Unlike some other people where, until recently I was seeing an Anomaly interview when he was talking about him making song for superstars, and they're making it, but once the song is made and the song is released, they forget about him, that he had to now do songs on his own to actually prove that yes, he is a good songwriter, he is a good singer. That's what he had to do, because he had been burned a couple of times composing songs for known artists and him not getting credit. So a lot of songwriters are in that boat in Nigeria. They don't, even in terms of money itself, people can just thief your. Let's take it back to, was it D'banj and Duella? Okay, maybe D'banj and Duella, about who stole what song, and see all those issues. Duella says no, blah, 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 blah. D'banj says he owns the song. Duella says
not Mr. Endowed or something.
Was it Mr. Endowed? Duella says no, he wrote the song, that he played it for D'banj and Don Jazzy, that they just picked it. D'banj came out and said no, he owns the song, blah, blah, blah. Then maybe some weeks later we see an interview with Hip TV, Duella saying the song was not his the bunch. But why did he come out to say that in the first place? That means something else has gone on in the background. We don't know. So songwriters have not been. I mean, the issue with songwriters and singers has been a problem since a long time in Nigeria. Blackface to face, same issue. Yeah. Getting credits for who votes what and who
African
votes what. And we know that music publishing is not big in Nigeria. It's just an industry that's still left untapped. But things are not what they used to be 5-10 years ago. But it's different. It's different right now. So as well as Davido, he has been using songwriters according to the information that I've seen online since his first album. That's not saying Davido cannot write the songs, but you can tell the little. I mean, Davido said it himself that he has been using songwriters right from the very first album. Yeah. So if anybody that has more that has more experience using songwriters in this Nigeria, Davido. Because before even songwriters getting paid one-off, right? Before they started getting paid one-off, how many people used to get paid one-off? Nobody. There was just collect. I mean, paying big bucks. I mean, that password was it 500,000 or 1 million that time? 500K. 500K was paid that time for just Gobe song. And then when that issue came up, and he was, although they were not happy that the thing turned out the way it turned out. The song was released 10 years before. He said 7 years before. Yeah, I'm not sure it's 7 years before, but it was 2007 to 2013. Yeah, that's about 6 years, 7 years. So yeah, that came up and I don't want to say okay. Thank God for him that he had more songs. I mean, and he said in that interview like, what's the better way to, when people have questioned how you make your music, what's better to do it is to release a song that you made on your own. And he mentioned he released Skelewu. And as we all know, Skelewu was a banger that took him to bigger heights in the industry. It wasn't even a Gobe song that took him to bigger heights. I agree. So that when it comes to using songwriters, Davido, yes, he's known for it. I mean, started off career using songwriters. He's still using songwriters, and he's proud of using songwriters. Yeah. He references examples of the biggest stars in the world: Mariah Carey, Michael Jackson, Rihanna. Of course. So it's in 2015. Yeah, 2015. These guys use songwriters a lot. So why can't I use songwriters? That's his MO. He's proud of it. He's proud of what it is. How people. I mean, he knows that in Nigeria, people don't like, but he doesn't care. He doesn't care because he knows the big people in the industry who have established how songwriters, they use it all the time, and nobody has issues. It's only rappers. Rappers don't like. I mean, in hip hop, people say like if you're not even writing your lyrics. I mean, they came at Drake at one time because he had a ghostwriter. The ghostwriter was not dissing him years later. So things like that. I mean, in the hip hop scene, it's found that even in Nigeria today, it's still found that. But if you think about it, it's not really a big deal. For me, it's only a big deal when it's too much. That's when we can't tell what exactly the artist can do. Can the artist actually write their own lyrics? That's why sometimes when you hear Davido sound on some records, he doesn't sound convincing. Like, these are the words that came out of my mouth. It looks like these are the words that have been put in front of me and I'm singing it. That's what sometimes it sounds like. That's the only bad part about it. So, not saying Davido can't write. Of course he can write. He's been credited to write Femme, although I don't believe that he wrote Femme. But he's been credited that he wrote. Femme has a couple of repetitions, so maybe he wrote that. Okay, perhaps, maybe. Then the history of him using songwriters from Password, at one point Dami Kane wrote for him, Perry, Mayor Kun, there's a lot, even Shizzy. Yeah. Kidominant. There's a lot of people. Techno, Yonda. Yeah. On a good time. The song where he was saying, yeah, that song is Yonda. I mean, Yonda featured in the song. Yeah. So you got credit for that, writing the song itself. So he's Adekunle Gold wrote 1 million. Yeah, 1 million. And I saw someone compare 1 million to Very Special, totally different song. And incidentally, both of them were written actually for him. Very Special by Mehdi, 1 million by Adekunle Gold. You could tell that this is Mehdi. This is classic Mehdi. You don't even need to check credits. Very Special. This is a Mehdi. So according with Davido, songwriter, not a big deal. Yeah. I think what people need to do is just adjust. He also needs to cut it down a bit. Like, we need to see more of Davido writing. Not for him to prove anybody wrong, but just to differentiate that we know that when Davido writes, this is what it sounds like. So he has good ears. So just to ease the sort of pressure on him, that we know that yes, sometimes artists that perform a lot, they usually don't have time to sit down and say, I want to write a song. They are busy performing on shows, they are going on tours, doing different things, you get? So they may not have the time to sit and say they want to write records. So that's why they employ the use of songwriters or people who have, a lot of people, they write songs. Even Rema, we know Rema is talented, but we know that there's still some assistance on the type of songs. Some songs you hear, you know that this song, Rema really write this song, but you know he's talented, things like that. So that's what we say. But in terms of songwriting, kudos to Davido for giving songwriters a name, but it's not the only one. There are several people, even the biggest of records from Timmy Dakolo, records from, you'll be shocked at the amount of records that Kobams Asuko has written for big stars in this industry. You'll be shocked if you know. Records that
Banky Timmy, Kobams has actually written a lot of songs for the likes of Timmy, Banky, and a couple of other guys. Timmy, Kobams, Asha as well. Even Asha as well, a good singer, as good as she is, as a good singer and a good writer, she does have songs that was written by someone else. So it's not. I just mentioned Kobams on Jela.
There's actually a lady, I forgot her name. One Omolara like that.
Omolara. I know Omolara.
She had written for Asha before. A lot of people don't know who the lady is, but yes, she's written some of the top records when it comes to R&B.
Praise also written a couple of songs for Harry Song. Harry Song
and KC. Harry Song and KC. The fact that Harry Song, when he left 5-Star Music, that he made the song and said, I said they don't write for this uncle. He was dissing this guy like this. But so songwriters are huge in the industry. It just needs to the industry needs to be properly set up so that at least publishing, a lot of people are talking split sheets, they're talking what's it called right now, royalties right now. That's what it should be. Someone that should be having a percentage of what they've written, not just one-off fees. Davido used to do one-off fees, but right now it was, people are eyes have opened. They now want to be collecting royalties of the song because they're part of people who wrote the song, who produced the song.
Lala, in 2013, Davido used songwriters on his first album. Of course, moving on, he used the likes of Shizzy, Kidomina, Techno, Tenny to drop a couple of bangers. And of course, his second album, there was Peruzzi, there was Yonda, there were a couple of Mayokun, a couple of other guys, writing, songs on the album. Now, 2020, a better time. We know there's Peruzzi, there's also Kidomina as well on Tanana, Peruzzi, and all of that. Now, one question I want to ask you, Lala. Should Davido, for an improvement or for variety's sake, should Davido move on from Peruzzi in terms of songwriting?
Not just Peruzzi. I think when we did Hit or Miss on the album, I think one of my critiques of the album is, when you ask me, why didn't he feature Peruzzi? I'm like, he didn't need the Peruzzi because on the songs that Peruzzi wrote, he was already sounding like Peruzzi. So he has rinsed and repeated, the Peruzzi formula. But we know for a fact that he loves Peruzzi's sound, right? And it might, like I said, it might be a question of should he leave. I think he's getting to that point where he must have used enough
of
Peruzzi's input in his music. He's achieved what he wants to achieve using Peruzzi style, Mayokun, Yonda, Kidomina, and things like that. He's done his bit, so he needs to move on to something new, and not just Peruzzi, also some of the producers he works with. We see that right now he's working a lot with Nabji. Nabji is new, so that means the likes of Fresh, Sparroge took a backseat a bit on this album. So perhaps in the next project, the likes of Fresh, Sparroge, let them be producing the newer guys, because is either he gets in with new producers and new writers, or the sort of songs they give him, he needs to critically look at it and say, have I done something like this before? Or have I, your song, the production, has it sounded like, it's him that has done all the songs. He needs to critically look at it and say, I can't sound like what I've sounded before. Because as we all know, some of these songs, that written by someone else are sounding like those people? Is there a way I can do it? Is there a way I can sing it that doesn't sound like this guy? Is there a way I can just recompose it to sound, sound differently, and I run with it?
Because if you look at a couple of songs in terms of remixes that Davido has done, you know, over the past couple of years, like 2 years now, last year, this year, they've been quite different. Barawo remix is different from Mona Lisa remix. That's different from Maserati remix. You know, that's different from, you know, jumping, working with what's the name now?
Olakira?
You know, Olakira, that's my Maserati remix.
Okay.
He's done a couple of other songs. You know, it's also different from One Ticket.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So I feel that maybe, just maybe, he needs to move away from that comfort zone of these are my people in terms of songwriting and production. What do you think?
I think it's not something that, I mean, it's good advice to me. It's good advice, because now I'm sure he will be reading several reviews of A Better Time, seeing what people feel about it. And the thing about Speroach, the thing about Fresh, the thing about Peruzzi, you will have seen it all around. So he himself will have it in the back of his mind that I need to go a different direction for my next project. Perhaps leave Peruzzi sound to Peruzzi. It's about time Peruzzi sound became Peruzzi sound, and he's known for Peruzzi sound. It's about time Speroach, Fresh, and these guys
take the back seat.
Take the back seat a bit. Nabji is new. I mean, they've not really gotten the chemistry going well, but then they started off well with. I mean, Fem is a success for them.
And Jowa as well.
And Jowa is one of the better tracks on the album. How people feel a lot on the album. So yes, it's a good thing where you have to change producers to make sure that your sound is not monotonous, is not the same. WIZKID did the same thing with P2J. P2J is producing a lot with WIZKID these days, and his sound has changed. That's what he went for. P2J completely has changed WIZKID sound. We can say that for a fact. If it was WIZKID on SARS, you know what we'd be getting. If it was WIZKID on Black,
there'll be,
you know what would be getting. Because these guys, it's like they have their specialties when it comes to productions, and the artist tends to gravitate towards how these guys produce. So yeah, it would be a good advice if Davido listens. Yes, he needs to work with newer songwriters, perhaps go and search for new songwriters, or perhaps try and do something on your own, and let's see for a fact if indeed you are indeed I mean, people refer.
Well, he did a couple of things on his own on A Better Time. I mean, his name was, you know, credited as one of the songwriters.
But yeah, not to discount anything that he's achieved, but that's his MO from time. People just need to what's it called? People just need to make their mind. Make their mind be at peace with the fact that that's what Davido is.
I mean, accepting the fact that Davido is someone who is really, really big on using songwriters. Yes, like Ola said, 2015, an interview came up, you know, on Not Just Okay, saying, you know what, my first album, I use songwriters, and I don't say anything wrong in it. The biggest artists, Mariah Carey, Michael Jackson, everyone, you know, every one of them, name them. That's what you say. They name them. They all use songwriters. So I don't see a reason why I should not use songwriters. Now, Davido, moving on, continue to use songwriters even after then. Second album, A Good Time, songwriters were there. Third album, A Better Time, we have a lot of songwriters as well on that particular one. He's someone who's really big on that one, and of course, he has continued to maintain that. You know what, guys? If you want kill yourself. Oh. My own are to do shake me. That's the only thing I can write, and others would write for me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to perform the song. Guys, what do you think about this? Davido and the songwriting fiasco. What exactly are your thoughts about this? Is it time for him to actually move on from Peruzzi and try something else? Move on from Speroach and Fresh and try something different? Guys, let us know what you think. And of course, if you're to suggest a songwriter or songwriters for Davido, let's of course suggest them in his comment section. Let us know what exactly you think, who you think will fit the new Davido sound. If you actually want him to change at all, let us know. Harry Song, Breeze, Omale, let us know. Of course, we'll be right there to reply to every one of you. Thank you so much, guys. Please continue to note that Nigerian music is for everyone. Please consume that. So many albums out there right now. WIZKID, Davido, Tiwa, Yemelade is dropping an album very, very soon as well. Pato, Burna Boy, everybody keep streaming, and of course, do not. Oh yeah, Niniola. Copy, Adekunle Gold, Cavemen, everyone. Guys, thank you so much for always loving us, for streaming Nigerian music as well. Please keep doing that, because it is going to be a really, really great December. Yes, next month. December is next month. We are going to have. Are we going to have concerts this year?
Some people might have drive-ins.
Oh, driving concerts.
But they've opened. Nigeria has no sense COVID again. They've opened everything. Market. So I don't think they will have anything against concerts. People are going clubbing. Yeah,
I saw a Wannicol event in Abuja last weekend, and people were there. Like, not driving, not mark club setting, everybody tight and everything. No mask inside.
They don't say vaccine until maybe another 2 years before it reach Nigeria.
Alright guys, we'll see you on the next reaction. Lala has been amazing, and of course please say your well wishes to Lala, because he's I don't know, a cough. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.